What's up, everyone, and welcome to CSD Sports Cards. You can tell I am not in my room today, and the sound might be a little more echoey than normal. I am in my freshly remodeled room without any furniture, so it's quite loud, so I'm whispering. But no, today we are going to kind of go back over kind of a year in review type. We're going to start with basketball first and just kind of go over the things I pulled and things I ripped. Now, granted, these are all empty boxes, so don't think I'm going to sit here and rip all these. That's just way too much. But that would be a hilarious video to sit here and rip all this. All right, so I just wanted to talk about, here, I'm going to set the camera up here so it's a little more stable. So the year's finally over, and I just wanted to take another little, I'm just rambling right now, but I wanted to go back over my picks for what I thought was the best, what was the worst, what was best for collectors, stuff like that, and see what you guys thought. Now, granted, all results may vary. I mean, you could rip 100 boxes and pull nothing, and someone could rip one box and pull one, and the person who pulled something out of the one thinks it's the greatest product in the world, and the person who pulled, opened 100 of them, pulled nothing, will hate it. So it's all subjective and it's all relative. So, but this is how I feel about the stuff. So let's see here. I'm going to start with, let's talk about the gimmicks. These tins, the holiday tins, the haunted hoop stuff. The holiday stuff is okay, like that. This was fun. The holiday hoops was fun for what it was. But these tins right here, I think what was in these, Mosaic, I can't even remember. These tins to me were just, I mean, I didn't like them at all. When it came to these tins, they were not my favorite, and I probably wouldn't have done too many of these. Yeah, you had a chance for some of the older packs or the older rookies, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was quite expensive. I think it was like $25. I mean, yeah, you get a nice tin that you can store stuff in, but I didn't care for them. So I'm curious what you guys think about them. Like, not my favorite. So gimmicks overall, yeah, the holiday ones were for fun for what they were, but as like a major, which goes to, I think, the worst, and I'll just stay on it. Now, I call haunted hoops the worst because if as people who are as a reviewer, the cards were flimsy. It was kind of a generic pattern. Yeah, they had some cool stuff in there, and you could pull a numbered card, but at the end of the day, these were meant for kids, and anything outside of handed these out for Halloween really just, in my opinion, this wasn't a great, like, to sit and rip product. Like, it was better to see the kids get happy over it than, yeah. So I wasn't too fond of it. I like it for what it was, but I don't want it for, like, I'm not going to sit at home and rip it. You know what I mean? All right, let's see. What up next? What was the most overhyped product? What do you think was? I'm going to just pull it right here. The most overhyped product, in my opinion, was the unlicensed Topps Chrome. This stuff it's unlicensed. I mean, Panini was probably like, whew, in a couple years, I can't wait. I hope that same enthusiasm stays. Granted, it was your chance to get the Victor autos, but I mean, the cards were kind of, I don't know, they were kind of boring. They looked weird. overall, it wasn't the best. Now, I will say, now on that note, I will just go right into the best pull of the year, which is going to be ironic. The best pull I had, the best hit card I had was out of Topps Chrome, which was a Victor auto. It was Victor or bust with this stuff, and it was an odd product. I still say what I say about it. It was overhyped. You couldn't get it anywhere. It was sold out. It was selling. It was just a wild product. And then, yeah, everyone was chasing the Victor, and then it was done. Now we'll go into most overrated. In my opinion, the most overrated, I'm probably going to catch some slack for this one, but I think the most overrated was the premium stock. People were going nuts for this when this first dropped. They were going absolutely crazy for it, and I just found it boring. The premium stock megas, there were so many base parallel cards. It was just like, where's this? Yeah, okay, I'm getting shiny cards, but where was the like, it just felt generic. I don't know how to really sum it up. I don't just, like, where's some scarcity? Where's some, like, I don't mind getting some. There has to be a better balance, in my opinion, of, your shiny parallels to your base, to your numbered, it needs to be a good balance to make it a really great product, in my opinion. Let's see, the most underrated, I'm going to go right here. The Phoenix, 2023-24 Phoenix. I thought this stuff looked amazing. The cards themselves, even the base cards, were great designs. They looked great. You had a good chance of pulling. You pulled some number cards. You pulled some parallels. It wasn't overwhelming, in my opinion. It was a solid rip. I know a lot of people kind of get stuck in that, what's the value return or return of investment? But for me, I don't look for return of investment out of sports cards. This is a hobby for me. I like collecting. I like ripping. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to invest on this. I've kind of had the mindset that if you're looking for return of investment, and investments, take your money to the stock market. Go sit in a 401k, go get some, the boomer stocks. I don't know, like, if there, or learn to day trade. That's what I'm saying. If you're looking for return of investment, your best bet is to go that route, because you're not going to get it out of sports cards. This is pure buying scratch tickets. That's all it is. You're gambling. So it's not a great way to make money back, unless you're just like squeezing every nickel and dime out. But as I was saying, the Phoenix was solid, which I'm just going to hold on to it. No, I'll come back. So where was I at? I did the best pull. Okay. I'm going to do the most fun. And it's kind of buried, so we'll grab the blaster. The most fun I had ripping was the Select. When this stuff came out, this stuff was fun. You got good number of base. You got some good numbered cards. The cards look good. They look clean. There were some issues. Panini had a pretty good issue with quality control this year, I feel like. A lot of scratches on cards, a lot of smudges on cards. I've got a whole stack. I think I've got about 1,000 cards that are damaged. I'm gonna do a video on it as well, just to kind of show you just what I'm talking about. So look out for that one. But yeah, Select, when this came out, it was fun. The Target Megas, the ones back here, the Target Megas were an absolute the best. The Walmart ones weren't hitting as well as the Target, in my opinion, from what I was seeing, but the Target ones were a blast. So I give this the most fun. All right, and then let's see. We're almost Only got a couple left. I'll do best for collectors. I'm going to go right back to it. Best for collectors. And I say that because these weren't that expensive. I mean, $50 mega in the world of $70, $65 and $70 mega boxes, these were 50. The ones with 10. There's another one with 60, which I think were 55. I think, or maybe 60. Maybe those were 60. But overall, I think I had a good time ripping these. I pulled some really good parallels. They looked really good. I mean, it was close between this and Select, in my opinion. But I kind of liked the way the Phoenix looked. It was a debut edition, so I feel like they loaded these boxes up. Even though it's my debut edition, and they lose the license next year, I do recall. So I wonder how that's all going to shake out. And then best overall, I will go back to the Select. I think everybody who ripped this I think overall, everyone who ripped this was loving it. The comments I've seen, the forums I've seen, online activity, the people talking, the comments online were that Select was hot. I mean, this stuff was an absolute blast. It was easy to find. Not a lot of people rip basketball, so it was easy to find for basketball. It wasn't like, so that's why I give that one the best overall. I will talk about Prism. I think Prisms to me are just boring. Same with Mosaic. Prism and Mosaic's a little bit better than Prism, but even Prism's parallels. Like I've done some rainbows and I've done some collecting like that, and you just kind of compare all the rainbows that I've done. When I say rainbows, I call them the poor man rainbows, where you stop at a certain number because the one of one is almost impossible to get. The fives, sometimes they're just so expensive. It's like, So I usually stop right around a certain dollar amount for whoever I'm doing, and usually get down to the fives, and tens. Sometimes, depending, like I said, but so I call it the poor man's rainbow. But I don't know, Prism and Mosaic, I know they're staples, and I'm probably you guys are probably gonna come after me for that one, but they could be better, and the quality on them this year was Optic gets an honorable mention. That was all right, but same thing. I think Donruss over here, let's see if I can turn a little bit. I'll say this about certain products, Donruss being one of them, Optic being another one. If it wasn't for Rated Rookies, which people like, here, I'll see if I can tilt it back. There's an Optic. If it wasn't for the Rated Rookies or the Downtowns, would anyone buy these? And I've asked myself that question quite a bit lately. Like, if it wasn't for the case hit, what would I stop buying? And it kind of speaks volumes when you start thinking about some of the cards. That the only reason you buy them is for, you know what I mean? Like what does that say about the whole product as a whole? So it's kind of been weighing on me a little bit. So we'll see how I handle some of that next year. I will give an honorable mention also to Revolution. I think these are like second for best for collectors. I know this is a hobby. I know they did come out. I do believe they came out with the blasters this year. I did not grab any. I think it was a debut for that as well. Revolution was always a fun rip. There's a lot of shiny to them. There's a lot of the base cards are super shiny. And then you get numbered cards and different parallels. I always thought this was a fun rip. I did not get any of the blasters, so I can't tell you this. I think these were like 170-ish to 200, which is kind of expensive. It might have been less than that. It's been a while. So that's pretty much sums up basketball. The Court Kings, I was disappointed. I know a lot of people liked it, but I had a bad luck with it. So it was kind of hit or miss. Like this size product right here, I think these are around 2 to 300. When you start getting around the 2 to 300 mark and it's only so many cards in it, the cost per card is just so high. And like I'll talk about the return of investment. It's harder to get your money back out of them because, you know, one autograph, one mem card, 10 cards. I think these were like $45 cardboard cost on them. That was just high. But that's pretty much it for basketball. I didn't rip a lot of it. After I kind of saved one of everything here. You can see in the thumbnail, but I'll try to bring this back. I mean, I didn't rip a lot of basketball this year. I know I didn't save all of the boxes. I think a couple slipped by, but yeah. And then like Monopoly, this is like I just kind of let that. I think I just did 3 to check them out. I don't know if I'll do them again in the future, just because it's a game. It's game pieces for a game. So it kind of goes in the same category as Haunted Hoops, you know. Like it's more directed towards kids, I feel like, and this hobby is nothing without kids coming up and buying. So, I mean, we were all kids and enjoyed it, so I kind of stay away from stuff like that. All right, well, there's basketball. I'm curious to see if you guys disagree or agree with anything I said on my best, worst. I'll put a list probably here, like a graphic or something, and so you can see it all down, you know, in writing. And then you guys can argue about it with me in the comments. All right, I appreciate you guys watching. It was a great year. Could have been better for basketball. Basketball has been suffering as a sport as a whole. But that's a whole nother story. All right, well, I'll cut it short here. And thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you. And hopefully I do some great things this year, I get better as we go, and I do some better things this year. Thanks for watching, and later.